Hello and greetings, fellow StarCrafters. PGO Milcraft here, and I am finally back after I busted my old computer. This game is going to be a 1 versus 1 between the Red Terran player Ares, otherwise known as none other than StarTale Bomber, and we have the Blue Terran player down here, oGsTop, another very good player. I will talk about those players in just a minute, but before I do, I would like to give a little bit of an explanation of what happened. So, like an idiot, I had milk next to my laptop when I was playing a game of StarCraft, actually, with Two-Toed Sloth. And I ended up spilling the milk on top of the laptop, and because I didn't realize that as soon as you spill liquid on a computer, the first thing you do is unplug it and take out the battery, I didn't do that. That was the third thing I did. I think the first thing I did was get a towel, which was dumb because they'll let the milk seep in and then probably fry the motherboard and some other stuff. So, I do have an Asus, I had an Asus laptop rather, and Asus has an accident prevention warranty. However, the warranty was expired by, I think, 2 weeks when I ended up spilling on it. So that sucks, and I ended up having to get a whole new computer, which is unfortunate because of course I had to pay for it. But I do have a new computer. The new computer is really cool. It is now a desktop, which means that I am actually recording on ultra graphics right now on a very large monitor, and I am at much higher speeds than I used to be. Currently it's sitting at 60 FPS, and I'm sure you know, it kind of fluctuates and so on and so forth. Alright, so that's kind of the story for that. So it looks like we will actually have improved casting because I did have occasional lag under the previous casting. So let's go ahead and talk about what these players are doing. This map is Tal'Darim Altar, very large map, and it looks like both players are actually going for, oh no, okay, StarTale Bomber is going for a command center first, right here, you see it started. However, oGsTop is going for a 1-Rax fast expand. So oGsTop's build is actually slightly less economical, and probably StarTale's Bomber is going to be ahead on this as the Red Terran. Ooh, actually, okay, so a couple of SCVs are going to have to be pulled, so it is going to even the economy just a little bit, especially if you can kill that SCV right there. Looks like barely not able to kill that SCV. SCV is going to be able to get away, and proper micro should save his life in this situation. Oh, nice block there. Very good job on StarTale Bomber Smart. Able to save that SCV and get the repair in to make sure that he survived. However, there is an SCV still repairing him. He's going to want to send him back to mining, and he did just that. So his build is going to be a little bit economical, or more economical rather, as he is going to be about 40 higher seconds on the command center, despite the slight interruption there from the SCV. However, a couple of Marines, there's the first one and another SCV, are going to come across. This is most likely going to be a bunker rush that is going to cause some damage. I do want to give just a little bit of backgrounds before we quite get into it, so we can go ahead and watch these players fight just a little bit. Looks like the bunker is already started by that scouting SCV initially, and that command center is actually not going to be able to finish here. This is going to become a big problem for him right now. Okay, so oGsTop went to the finals of Contest August, where he lost to the best Terran in the world, MVP. Nice job, able to finish that command center right there. StarTale Bomber, on the other hand, who is the Red Terran, by the way, Ares, he is a very good player. He actually at once all-killed Top's team, including Top himself, in the team league. And nice little bunker there. It's going to be able to prevent the command center. So actually, it looks like Top is actually able to retake the lead here. StarTale Bomber didn't take too much damage, but he wasn't able to get an orbital command right away. Bunker is now up, so he'll for sure be safe. And it's going to be just a little while before he is able to bust that bunker again. So most likely, Top is actually going to be ahead, and we should see him taking a supply lead. So as I was saying, Top has been to the finals of Codes, so he's quite good. He had an amazing game. If you, for free, you can go to the gomtv.net and you can watch, look for the Codes Finals of August, and you can see just this incredible game of MVP versus Top, where they go to like this huge tank standoff, which goes into a Viking standoff, and they get tons of Ravens with Seeker missiles, and it's just an absolute ridiculous game. They even get to battle cruisers. Really, really exciting game, and anybody can watch that game for free. But like I said, Top did end up losing that series. StarTale Bomber, on the other hand, is quite accomplished as well. He's an extremely good Terran player, and he actually he won MLG. Spoiler alert: he won MLG Raleigh, and which is kind of a while away, which is why I don't mind spoiling it too much. But anyway, he did a very good job there, and so this is going to be a very exciting match. This is just a game from BattleNet. And so it's not anything terribly special from that perspective. Looks like he's going to go ahead and bust out that bunker and probably move the command center over into place just after he does that. Looks like he is not opting to go to Marauder to help him bust that. I guess it's still possible he could wait. Ooh, that Marine. If that Marine had been picked off, it would have made this job so much easier for StarTale Bomber right now. But look at top. He's already mining out of his expansion right now. He doesn't quite have the gases up, but he is definitely taking a supply lead. He's now up by 5 supply, and will be even more because these 2 Marines will probably get 2 and maybe 3 Marine kills before that bunker is taken out, depending on... Oh, actually, well, he's getting a lot more Marines. He is not opting for a Marauder, even after the tech lab finished, in order to be able to help him with that attack. Oh, it looks like, actually, top is just going to salvage that bunker. And so, you know, I mean, basically... StarTale's Bomber waited too long, and he was not able to take that bunker out, and then oGsTop was able to salvage it for the full 75, well, not full, almost full 75 minerals that he had left. Looks like these Marines are going to move across. Looks like we're going to be seeing Marine tank from both people here, which is, you know, something that's sort of fallen out of favor. I've actually seen Terran players meching quite a bit more. Meching is better in a number of situations, but you have to be so careful when you're meching, because... you have to have your units in the absolute right places. Your tanks cannot be caught unsieged, or you lose chunks of your army. And especially on a huge map like this, you know, it's not like if you're set up in a position, you're not going to be moved from that position. But in this case, like, you know, you have to defend a third. You'll have this tank line across here, that line, and if there's any vulnerabilities, the bio player can easily move around and take it out. Now, in this case, since both players are going bio, there's no reason to get Marauders, because Marines are actually better than Marauders in a one-on-one fight. And, oh, wow, okay, so it looks like, ooh, uh-oh, this is going to be very bad for StarTale Bomber right now. He did not know that his opponent had stim while he only had combat shield right there. And I think that for sure top is going to come out ahead on this engagement, and he is indeed. He is still up by 16 supply. Incredibly impressive for StarTale Bomber right there. Looks like his command center is coming along nicely. We are moving into medevacs for StarTale Bomber. He is only at 3 barracks and actually no reactors, which is fairly low production, actually. I would also like to see him start a tech lab and start getting some siege tanks out, as that is one easy way to be able to hold basically against any sort of attack. However, since, as you can see, they are only just getting their gases from their expansions, they are actually a little bit behind. They went for a mineral-heavy build and wanted to get out enough Marines to make sure they weren't run over by any sort of kind of quick attack there. But, we were talking about an engagement. First of all, StarTale Bomber probably shouldn't have charged up the hill. I think he saw that he had combat shield, his opponent did not. However, oGsTop did have stim. And, I mean, there's no way of really knowing that, but it's just, I guess it's just not a risk you really want to take. Especially considering that I think Top had a little bit more Marines than him anyway, and he's closer to reinforcements. So you're really not going to come out too far ahead on that engagement anyway. Looks like Top is going to be going for a drop right there. Probably that's going to go into the main. Possibly, nope, looks like he's not going to provide any pressure. We do have some siege tanks right now coming out from Top, and a second factory coming down for StarTale Bomber. That's going to be very exciting. As double tanks is definitely going to be incredibly necessary in this game in order for StarTale Bomber to come out. That turret finished at exactly the right time, and that drive is going to be taken out. That was a huge waste of resources. Look like he's moving in. The SCVs are going to get the time to repair the bunker, and it looks like actually oGsTop is going to have to back out there. Nice job by StarTale Bomber defending perfectly against both of those attacks, and oGsTop is actually going to lose a little bit the lead he had. You can see now that the supply is almost even out. That was like, I cannot believe the perfection of that turret finishing. Looks like the scan is going to see everything that is going on right here, including, ooh, the double factory. Yeah, it looks like he does in fact see the double factory, so you'll know his opponent is into high siege tank production. Meanwhile, oGsTop's second factory is about to finish as well. I believe for upgrades, yep, we're both working on, they're both 1-0 right now, and actually it's almost the exact same timings for infantry armor upgrade as well. And a second engineering bay has just finished for Top. Meanwhile, I'm not sure if Bomber... Looks like Bomber has not got a second engineering bay, so he might end up falling a little bit more farther behind, as Top is going to be finishing that armory and probably getting weapons level 2 pretty soon as well. I really like this job right here by oGsTop. He is placing a couple of siege tanks and a group of Marines as well as some medevacs right here. This is going to prevent any kind of direct attacks from being able to go against. Oh, and this is very smart as well. Okay, so if oGsTop sends an SCV or a Marine and just A-clicks him across or right-clicks and then bounces him out of there, he is actually not going to spot this command center. He's only going to see that the rocks are gone, which is going to be a relatively large advantage. Meanwhile, it's not that far to be able to move as well. If you want to be really safe, you could place it here, but actually he didn't really leave himself enough room. I guess he could build it there, but that's kind of a far distance to float, so it looks like he's not going to do that. You can see that now Bomber is actually going to try to outflank this position because attacking the high ground is so big. And, oh, was there... Oh, okay, I thought there might have been a base trade scenario, but it looks like that is not going to be the case. That scan that you saw right there was definitely from StarTale Bomber, trying to outflank his army. This little siege tank outcrop is going to be hard to engage against. Looks like he's actually just sieging up in the middle. I think he's afraid of a flanking attack, which could be quite effective by oGsTop. And looks like he's actually getting in a position to do just that. Oh, this is going to be very exciting. This is a very bad position. Flanking attacks are extremely powerful against ranged units, and he's unsieging at exactly the wrong time. Oh, oGsTop definitely could have stemmed in there and caused a lot of damage. And looks like he still will be able to. He's not going to have quite the flank that he had before, but look at those Marines that are being able to fire and dealing a lot of damage. The siege tanks have sieged up, but it's a little bit late. He's going to want to target down that siege tank. Boom, takes it out. And looks like oGsTop is going to pull ahead of that engagement. It remains to be seen whether or not he will be able to save the medevacs. Looks like he will, most likely. Yes, he does in fact get the medevacs out of there, but that was still a great engagement for oGsTop, and he's pulled ahead to a 30 supply lead that is absolutely huge at this point of the game. Looks like StarTale Bomber has in fact finished his command center. He is possibly going to get an orbital, but also might just get a planetary fortress, as those are quite effective against Marines, of course, though they are not effective against tanks. Top is also, look at how far ahead on weapons level 2 he is, and he's already started armor level 2. That's going to be a huge huge advantage in battle, as Marine and Marine combat upgrades are absolutely important because of their high level of DPS. Looks like Top was thinking about moving in, but he did take a siege tank blast and decided to turn around. I think, oh my god, look at how many siege tanks he has. 9 siege tanks, what are there? 6 siege tanks. That's actually only a 3 siege tank advantage, but that is still absolutely gigantic. Each siege tank is incredibly invaluable in this sort of army composition, especially against Marines, as they're basically the Marine killers. Oh, Top is going to get in such a strong position here. He's going to siege up across this. Probably drop some Marines up top. Yep, that's exactly what he's going to be doing. Oh, but there is a turret there, so nice job. He does actually get some Marines on top before they take out the turret. The turret is going to be able to siege blast, and it looks like Bomber is just going to have to remove that right away. This is a very difficult position to be in for Top. He has to split his army perfectly and engage perfectly. Oh, actually, it looks like oGsTop is going to unsiege, so it looks like StarTale Bomber is going to move in. However, the re-siege is going to prevent him from being able to actually attack here. He should have probably tried to take advantage of that situation by trying to get his tank sieged up in an advantageous position. Now, this is going to be a very difficult position for StarTale Bomber right now. He is not mining from the space. He has moved his SCVs down to his third right here, what was formerly his third, I think. Oh, no, looks like now he is transferring them down to the third, or maybe he's just going to land as... Oh, his Marines are actually cut across the map. Oh my god, if he turns his Marines around, he could get a lot of free siege tank kills. Looks like he's not actually going to be able to do that. And, oh no, this is actually going to be a very bad engagement for him, and he's going to have to retreat to the siege tank line. Oh, okay. Alright, so that was a really complicated engagement right there. I'll try to break it down as best as I can. So he had his Marine group around here, I think, trying to ambush any reinforcements that were going across, or possibly catch the siege tanks unsieged. Unfortunately for StarTale Bomber, oGsTop is ahead of the upgrade war at this particular moment, so that would not be particularly effective. These siege tanks are now in a great line, so it was not particularly effective, so he had to retreat, and then he had his siege tanks. Luckily, he was controlling both groups quite effectively, moved the siege tanks onto the high ground, and then oGsTop had to withdraw, as even if your Marines are ahead on upgrades, you're probably not going to win the siege tanks there. It looks like that was a bit of a premature stim, and actually, oh my god, the siege tanks are unprotected. If oGsTop sees that, doesn't he see that? Yeah, he does definitely see that the siege tanks are unprotected. He could move in and try to take them out. Looks like that's exactly what he's going to try to do. As soon as the siege tanks unsiege, they are going to re-siege up, and the Marines are going to join them. And also the upgrades are actually, in 7 seconds, they're actually going to be equal at 2-2. However, 3-0 weapons has already started for StarTale Bomber. And look at how many resources are actually being floated by oGsTop. And it's not like a mistake or anything. Like, look at how many he's maxed out on supply, right? But what it means is, first of all, he should start his armor upgrade, which I don't believe he has a third armor upgrade. And second of all, he should start a couple of extra command centers. Looks like actually it's going to be a base trade scenario right here, as StarTale Bomber is just going to go ahead and move into the base. Meanwhile, these Marines are going to move in as well. They're going to focus fire down the siege tanks. Great job right there. Meanwhile, the siege tanks are behind. Are going to take out that orbital command so unbelievably quickly, whereas this orbital command has already been taken out as well. Looks like these Marines are actually bouncing around each other. A little bit better control by oGsTop is needed right there. Meanwhile, looks like these Marines are going straight for the production facilities, so this is going to be a full-on base race. We need to see StarTale Bombing moving his orbital commands out of the way. He is, in fact, moving his orbital command away. He can, however, see that nobody is attacking because he does have a sensor tower right there. If you look at the mini-map where my pointer is, looks like that orbital command is not going to get away. It just needs to be focused now just a little bit more by StarTale Bomber. He really needs to take out that orbital command. That's extremely important for this position. However, there is an additional orbital command as well as another command center flying around right now. So I think the advantage is definitely going to be in oGsTop's favor. He has the better army, and I believe he finishes 3 weapons upgrades. Nope, he actually... Oh, he's about to finish it. And I do not believe... Oh, it's going to be focused down. Oh my god, it might be taken out. Taken out 4 seconds before he was able to finish his upgrade. He actually did not finish that upgrade. The tank level 1 upgrade is most likely going to be able to finish. No, it is not, actually. Okay, so... Looks like most of the production facilities for StarTale Bomber did get out. I think oGsTop's army is still more fearsome. He does have... How many siege tanks is that? Alright, so production tab is less important now. We're going to go to the unit tab. 39 to 36, 15 to 13 in the favor of oGsTop. The upgrade advantage is actually equal, I believe. 2-2 and nothing. Yes, it's 2-2 and nothing for both sides. Okay. So it's all about the army size. This is going to be a lot about the engagement. He did just take out 2 more tanks right there. That's absolutely huge, as those tanks are incredibly important. Looks like these barracks are just going to actually float around. Another command center has already been started in the corner to make sure that he cannot be taken out in this sort of elimination race. Meanwhile, there are a lot of supply depots, actually, that he should move his Marines around to automatically target right there. Meanwhile, this orbital has gotten back home. And it looks like he's actually just going to let his supply depots stay. It's, I understand that they, ooh, oh my god, is he about to lose? Alright, so 2 more siege tanks were taken out by oGsTop, but 1 more was taken out by StarTale Bomber, so it is going to be 13 to 10. Oh, he's going to take some siege tank hits on his Marines. That's not something he can really afford to do at this point in time. Taking out the supply depots, though, would prevent any sort of reinforcements from occurring as a result of building barracks, and especially since these players both have a decent amount of resources that they're floating right now. It looks like they are focused on engaging at the best possible moment, though, and less focused on trying to rebuild their armies. That's probably going to be secondary. Nice job, able to get an SCV in here, which is going to be able to repair the siege tank. That siege tank is at a lonely 1 health right now, so it's going to be incredibly important that he is going to be able to finish repairing that. He does have a command center up here. Oh my god, there's so many buildings flying around right now. Look at these barracks. I think these barracks are like just spotting like the flying buildings.
Is under attack.
Meanwhile, these Marines have now been queued to kill all the supply depots. That's a very nice job from oGsTop right there. And it looks like StarTale Bomber is going to retreat to his little crevice. Nope, it looks like he's going to change his mind. He should definitely try to repair these siege tanks, or possibly put those injured siege tanks in the back to make sure they don't be taken out by any sort of errant siege tank shots. Meanwhile, he is now sending a single Marine to do the same job to make sure he takes out these supply depots. Oh, he is actually taking some very unnecessary damage. It's probably not going to be proved to be too relevant right now because of the fact that these medevacs are actually... Oh, a single Banshee from oGsTop has in fact gotten out. Scan is going to take that out, but that Banshee did take out 2 more siege tanks, so it's now 11 to 8. That is everything. Siege tank count is everything in a Marine-on-Marine combat of this sort of scale. Also, his tanks are going to be considerably better health because he is actually taking the time right now to repair them. And actually, I think it was the 2 weakened tanks that were taken out by that Banshee. Looks like he is in fact going for a drop, although I'm not sure quite what he's dropping, as I mean, there's really not that much to drop. Looks like another Banshee has been taken out. Just go to the production tab just to make sure, and it is right here where he is building the Banshees. He already got Cloak. Very smart job on his point. That's why these supply depots are so important. However, he did build additional supply depots just to make sure he is not supply blocked and can continuously send Banshees up in that little corner. I think that that's what these drops are trying to do, is take out any sort of Banshees that are flying around. That Banshee is going to spot that drop, and conversely, that drop is going to spot that Banshee, which should actually... Oh, yep, it's going to take another siege tank right there. This drop is still moving over here. I'm not sure exactly where StarTale Bomber is going. I think he's just looking for a command center that he maybe thinks is down there. But it looks like... Oh, wow, it looks like oGsTop thinks that StarTale Bomber has left his army too unguarded. In fact, it is. He doesn't have any Marines left on his army, so those siege tanks are completely undefended. They're going to absolutely chew through this right away, especially with that Banshee right there. Probably he could have withdrawn with the rest of his army and just use his Banshee. Where's that drop? Looks like that drop is landing right here. Meanwhile, these Marines are going to move up and take out the supply depots. The drop is going to come out and take out that command center right there. But without an army, I don't think there's really any way that StarTale Bomber is really going to win this at this point in time. Because without an army, obviously, he's not going to be able to win any engagement right there. Alright, so we have... Okay, the Marines are going to take out that Banshee. I do not believe... Yes, the starport has not been taken out, so he's still able to produce Banshees. However, StarTale Bomber is now completely out of resources. He does still have orbitals, so he can drop mules. And it looks like Top is able to save that command center, able to land it right there. And what is that? We're going to go to the unit counts here. Alright, so we got 12 Marines. So Top is actually behind on Marines. And where are these Marines? Okay, so these Marines took out this expansion right here. And it looks like they are going to move across. It is, oGsTop is going to want to, oh, that command center was taken out as well. Oh, okay. So that command center is going to burn down. I don't think there's any way he's going to be able to save it unless he drops a mule, which is valuable resources that he really can't afford to give away at this point in time. This orbital command is still fully functioning, however, so he is in pretty good shape as a result of that. Looks like those Marines are going to focus fire this orbital command, and oh my god, orbital commands die so quickly. And that command center has been, well, it's burning, and very possibly could be taken out. Looks like StarTale Bomber is going to drop on top of it. However, there's an entire army here that he probably does not want to drop on at this point in time. Actually, he could maybe drop completely on top of that army and actually deal a lot of damage and or take it out. Looks like he's not going to opt to do that. And I kind of question that decision right now, as there aren't any Marines right now covering that army. It's just siege tanks, and while a majority of them are unsieged and won't hurt each other, Marines do very well against unsieged tanks at this level. Alright, so these Marines are moving around looking for additional bases. I think they're looking for that orbital primarily right now. We haven't seen it yet. Looks like he's actually just stimming that Marine to take out that other Marine. So this is basically Marines against siege tanks at this point in time. I think Top was probably a little bit too reckless with his Marines. You really need to keep those alive, as he needs some sort of anti-air force. He does have 3 Marines there, and he does have medevacs. So there. Medevacs all at full energy, so each of those Marines gets 1 1/4 medevacs to themselves. It's so nice to be a Marine. There is a command center right here, so this little section is probably not going to be able to be taken out right now. Wow, this is absolutely crazy game. Alright, he's doing a 3-drop Marine, looks like it's part of a counter push. And there are now 5 siege tanks. Actually, I mean, maybe StarTale Bomber doesn't really want to go for this, but I think it would actually do a good job if he just kind of dropped on top of these tanks. I think he would win. Maybe I'm doing my math wrong, but these tanks are 0-0, and it's going to be against 2 Marines that are going to be stimmed. And I realize that they drop out 1 at a time, which is unfortunate, but it would be 3 medevacs dropping them, so it would not be the end of the world. Looks like he did in fact spot this medevac, but his forces are not going to be able to pick it off. Ooh, actually, maybe they will be able to pick it off. Oh god, they are going to be able to pick it off. That medevac is going to die. Oh, very nice save from oGsTop. And actually, that's a lot of health damage on StarTale Bomber's Marines right now that he's not really able to take right here. He is building supply depots to make sure he can get some more forces in. But he basically only has a mule mining right now. I think if we go to units, he is down to 2 SCVs versus opponents 4 SCVs. Nice Viking from oGsTop from this same starport, which has been his absolute savior this game. So this is a very weird situation. I don't know if I've ever seen like a base race quite to this level. These forces, like both of these players are down to so few forces right now. What do we got? So we got 28 Marines versus 10 tanks and 3 Marines. Medevac count's about the same at 4 and 3. Those medevacs are going to be very valuable if he actually gets any Marines out. Looks like he is getting a second orbital right now. Might want to repair that just to make sure it doesn't get sniped off. However, he is obviously very low on resources. What do we have? Okay, so we have a barracks, factory. That factory is going to be taken out by that Viking. The Viking will probably search for additional barracks to take out. Actually, StarTale Bomber should probably either set these Marines on patrol or rejoin him to the rest of his army, but there's so much going on, I definitely don't blame him for this sort of thing. Here is that same 3 Marine medevac. These Marines actually have a large number of kills, but I think they were part of the army before, so that might be part of it. They also might have been cleaning up some of these add-ons over here. Not these add-ons, these, yeah, add-ons. That's the phrase. I did say the right thing. Looks like a small little drop into StarTale Bomber's base that is going to be cleaned up almost immediately. And, oh, is going to be able to take out that medevac that is absolutely huge right now. That evens up the medevac count and puts Top's Marine count down to 0 right now. What do we have here? Okay, so we have another Banshee coming. That Banshee actually is going to be incredibly useful here, I think. And sniping the command centers is going to make a bunch of Marines babysit that command center to make sure that the SCVs don't die, as the economies of both these players are so low. Top is still ahead on economy. He does have 2 orbitals to his opponent's 1. However, I believe, yep, it looks like the number of production facilities is in fact going to be higher for StarTale Bomber right now. Oh, and he finally found that. He's going to take out that starport and that drop supply depot. The drop supply depot is going to represent, it is, oh wow, nice siege tank placement right there, able to kill a good amount of Marines, down to 25 Marines right there, and now StarTale Bomber is keeping his Marines out of range right there. Oh, I didn't even notice that coming. Nice job. It was also able to save the starport as a result of that, so that's very good as well. However, he is going to be supply blocked as a result of losing those equivalent of 2 supply depots because it was a supply depot. He does have 2 barracks now, so he's going to get his Marine count up, and I mean, I think top is in a relatively commanding position, just because it's so much harder to produce siege tanks than it is to produce marines, and siege tank, 10 siege tanks beats 25 marines when they're sieged up anyway. Even when he didn't have that air cover, StarTale Bomber was afraid to really attack her right there. Alright, so, medevac. This medevac is going around. I think it's searching for bases, maybe. Looks like this little drop is going to try to take that out, though. Top is maybe being a little bit too careless with his medevacs right now. Looks like actually was not able to take it out, and Top does see the opposing medevac right there, so he is going to be able to sneak his medevac around and hopefully get it away. Looks like he is actually going to be able to do that. Head has been spotted by that marine as well, and oh, yeah, looks like that medevac is going to in fact to be taken out right there by those marines. Okay, so we have a barracks flying up here. 2 more barracks are coming down right here. So we have 3 barracks total for Ares. He is, not Ares, StarTale Bomber. He is getting Cloak and Banshee right now, so that's going to be effective against his opponent, especially if he doesn't have any scans available. He can kill a lot of the siege tanks, which is exactly what he's going to try to want to do at this point in time. It looks like he should have a scan unless he drops a mule as soon as he gets to 50, which is very possible at this point in time, as it's really hard for oGsTop to really anticipate exactly what his opponent's doing. However, once he sees that, I would guess that he would actually get a Raven for the Banshees. That's mobile detection is going to be needed, and he already has the starport with the tech lab right there. This is a nice spread from the siege tanks now that he knows that his opponent can't drop on top of him because he has so much anti-air cover with the Marines and the Vikings. He can safely siege up all of his tanks and provide it basically an impossible. I mean, look at all this range of siege tank shots that goes all around his base. There is no way to attack this base from the front. StarTale Bomber is going to have to find a different way in. He's going to have to kind of use his Banshees. And actually, oh my god, he's going for multiple Banshees before he goes in. Is he supply blocked right now? Oh no, looks like he is just a little bit short on gas, and he doesn't even have a refinery, so that may be part of it. He's being very careful with dropping mules right now. I think that's because he wants to make sure that he has detection in case an opposing Banshee comes in. Once this turret finishes, though, he probably should be dropping all 3 of his mules. It looks like that's exactly what he's going to be doing right now. These 2 Banshees could maybe move in. Yep, oGsTop does not even have an engineering bay at this point in time. This is like the funniest sprawling base I've ever seen, as he's building everything as close to his little shell of protection as possible. Banshees are moving in now. They are going for the SCVs. Okay, he switched it up. They are going to go for the siege tanks. And there was the 3rd one right there. Oh no, that's Top's Banshee actually. So it looks like he is going to get, what is that, 3 siege tanks so far, 4 siege tanks. And oh, he moved his starport off of his tech lab, and he does just now have a scan, so he will be able to scan and kill it. Looks like, oh, he is going to scan, but the other Banshee is going to be out of range. Yep, he did not, in fact, wait for that other Banshee to finish. The engineering bay is now starting as well. So that was pretty devastating. He lost half of his siege tanks. He's down to 5, and that's going to make the Marine count, the higher Marine count of StarTale Bomber, that much more effective. Looks like a second scan is going to be able to take that out. The Raven is now on the way, so that when that Raven finishes, there will be no more shenanigans from these Banshees, as there are far too many Marines and a Viking, which will protect them against it. My thought right now is probably that, StarTale Bomber should try to move out at this point in time. I think as long as he doesn't do anything silly and kind of get caught unsieged, he should have a good time of being able to beat his opponent's army, as long as, he has 3 siege tanks sieged or something like that. But I could be wrong. He is actually behind by 1 medevac, which I'm not sure where StarTale, there it is. StarTale Bomber's other medevac is right there. Looks like he is, in fact, going to go ahead and move out. He took the high ground. Looks like he sees his opponents. He's going to want to step and run away. He's a little... Oh, nice siege tank hits right there. Able to deal a lot of damage to those Marines. It looks like... Okay, Bomber is not going to try to engage through that. I don't think he would be able to win. The Raven is out now. That Raven's not going to be too effective right here, as there are no Marauders to point defense drone, or Banshees to point defense drone for that matter. Looks like the siege tanks are going to have to siege up. This will be a very big problem right now, actually, for oGsTop. His tanks will siege in a bad position. I think StarTale Bomber is going to be able to chew through, maybe able to take out 1 last siege tank. So the siege tank lead that oGsTop had has dwindled down to 1 right now. However, the Marine lead is back in oGsTop's favor, so it looks like oGsTop is still on top. He has twice the number of SCVs right now, so oGsTop still should win this game. That Marine died for his country right there, trying to take the watchtower. And it looks like, oh wow, the siege tanks both in range of both sides of the watchtower. That's hilarious. Alright, so a lot of this battle is going to have to do with positioning right now, as the unit counts are so similar. Oh my god, I can't believe how much this game has evened out from an army standpoint. Okay, so the armies are essentially identical right now. Looks like oGsTop is going to be moving in for a drop right now. I'm not sure, did he spot? No, he has not actually spotted that base, but if you look at the medevac, it is going to be going right through it, and he's going to drop on it and take out these two production facilities, or at least make them fly away. So no more Banshees, not that he necessarily wanted to. Looks like this orbital is going to move out. That is going to be spotted by this barracks right here. Nice placement from StarTale Bomber, using his floating buildings that he can't afford to produce out of in order to be able to get good scouts off. This barracks is going to fly through and get additional scouting information. Actually, it looks like StarTale Bomber is going to try to move out across against his army. I don't think that would be too successful unless he gets much better position than his opponent, as he is down by 9 Marines at this point in time. Nice drop over here. We were in fact right that he actually is able to take them out, because StarTale Bomber did not lift them up in a row, so he will lose all of those production facilities right there. This Marine is going to spot those Marines right now, and actually Top's army is a little bit out of position. He's going to move that siege tank back. It's going to be taken out almost immediately by the Marines. Siege tanks have sieged up now, and actually he's going to start dealing a lot of damage to these production facilities. I think Top is going to have to charge right into that army, and oh, actually, is he going for... No, wait, there's not going to be a second base trade, is there? Looks like he has decided he cannot take out that army head on after it has sieged up, so he is deciding actually to go for a second base trade. I have never seen 2 base trades in the same game. This is absolutely ridiculous right now. We do have the barracks, which has actually produced a Marine right now, and is being chased by SCVs. Meanwhile, these Marines are moving in. They are going to be able to focus on the orbital quite quickly. No repair is coming in time for oGsTop. That's very unfortunate for oGsTop. He really needs to repair it. No, he loses the orbital command right now. Meanwhile, he was not able to take out StarTale Bomber's orbital command. So oGsTop is going to be in a little bit of a hairy spot at this point in time. The unit count is still, well, it's about even still. The siege tank is bounced out by about 5 Marines on either side. The SCV count is also equaled out. However, I don't think there is any mining anymore for StarTale Bomber. These 2 orbital commands, once they land, should be able to resume their mining operations. And actually, it looks like oGsTop is going to go ahead and turn around. I think he wants to protect this orbital command, which he knows has been spotted by his opponent, and this group of Marines are moving across to destroy it. Looks like he is going to stop and focus fire this factory right now. I think that's actually less important, as he really needs to save this orbital. If he loses this orbital, he's most likely going to lose this game, because he will just be too far behind. He needs to repair it. He needs to repair the orbital command. He is not going to repair the orbital command. He does have enough to buy another one. However, he will be revealed very shortly if he doesn't repair it, and will put him behind on productionist, as his opponent already has 2 orbital commands. However, the bank of resources is of course much higher for oGsTop at this point in time. oGsTop could also stop mining by moving back across the base in order to be able to take out his opponent. You can see that his base is now being revealed, which means that StarTale Bomber can in fact see all of these buildings right here, and is going to go ahead and move across and try to take them out. Meanwhile, oGsTop is going to have to try to guess and see exactly where his opponent's buildings are. That's why he's sending SCVs to every corner to make sure there are no more hidden orbitals right now. Looks like these Marines and siege tanks are going to focus fire all these buildings. He's going to drop up here. Very nice control from StarTale Bomber. You can see exactly why he won MLG Raleigh. He's a very good player, of course. Top playing very well this game as well, as Top has been ahead for most of this game. But it looks like actually StarTale Bomber is barely crawling back into the lead after the second base trade scenario. And wow, like, this is just absolutely ridiculous. I cannot believe how long this game lasts. Looks like oGsTop's hidden Banshee that he had sitting in his base was able to take out a single siege tank right there, which is extremely important at this point in time. There's the command center that is coming down. Looks like all these buildings are now going to be cleared out again. And wow, okay, so we have an orbital over here for StarTale Bomber, a hidden orbital that his opponent does not know about. He still needs to build supply depots, and he needs to build production facilities, as he lost almost all of his floating production facilities. He just has this factory, this barracks, and looks like that is just it at this point in time. The SCVs are actually moving out across the map. Oh, they were being attacked. The nice Banshee control is actually saving oGsTop's life right now. That Banshee doesn't have any SCV kills at this point in time, but it did just get a second siege tank kill, so it looks like this orbital is going to go ahead and move out across. It is going to replant right here, and actually StarTale Bomber will now be building from exactly where oGsTop was building. Wow, this game is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. This command center is uncovered, however, it is now finished. I don't think he doesn't even have a barracks at this point in time, so he can't even get an orbital command. He has to build a supply depot before he can get a barracks. So it's a long line of things that he has to get before he can really start producing out of that. And actually, it looks like he just put his SCVs with his army. So yes, I think he's actually just going to be... Oh wow, his SCVs are actually attacking the other command center. That should be lifted, and there it is. I think he's going to go ahead and kind of go all in, essentially. He doesn't think he can really come back. This is going to be able to hide to prevent his opponent from doing anything, and if he is, well, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see, I suppose. Alright, so this is going to be a hard attack right now. He does have the siege tank lead. Top does have the siege tank lead. And looks like that SCV is taken out. Look at him sieging just outside of the lines of the siege tanks. His medevacs are probably going to go in line. And oh, that siege tank is just a little bit too close. Oh, nice job. He's going to want to siege up right there. Perfect. I'm not sure if oGsTop is planning on going straight through. Oh, looks like he is going to start mining again, as there is no reason not to at this point in time. And it looks like the medevacs, who cannot deal with each other at all, as the Viking was taken out a while ago, I think. Alright, so is he moving in for the kill? Marines are moving in. Oh, able to take out one medevac. Very nice job on his part. One medevac is so much less healing than two. Obviously, it's half of the amount of healing. As you can see how much faster these Marines get healed in this sort of engagement. The Marine count is almost identical. The additional siege count will be balanced. Siege tank will be balanced just a little bit. Oh, moving forward. Oh, one shot off, two shots off. Oh, I think he handled this wrong. Oh, it looks like oGsTop is going to move his forces forward and focusing on the siege tank. Is able to take out the siege tank. The SCVs are going to scare him away. However, it is one siege tank to 0 right now. It looks like StarTale Bomber is going to have to move that orbital away again. And meanwhile, oGsTop is, in fact, he has completed the supply depot, and he will be starting his barracks very soon. Meanwhile, mining from the backside of these minerals, we see that StarTale Bomber is trying to get back into this game from that perspective. He does not have enough to build another orbital command. However, as he does have 2 orbital commands, he should be in fine shape at this point in time. These Marines able to take out the last of these buildings right here. Meanwhile, we have the medevacs are healing, but they're almost entirely out of energy right now. I think a couple too many stims on those Marines. Looks like there is going to be a counterattack here, actually. And if he spots that base right there, that's going to be a very big deal. I do not believe that StarTale Bomber is aware. No, he is not aware of that base. It is likely he will see it, however, given the... I guess almost everything has been done on the bottom half of this map in this game. Looks like this orbital command, has been spotted by that Marine. Very nice job. And there is an SCV which will be able to block it from landing. Meanwhile, this orbital command was spotted and also doesn't really matter because there are no more minerals right here. So it is going to go ahead and move on towards this base. I can't believe this game is still going on. Sorry, I forgot to turn on the game timer. It's different settings on each computer. Actually, I think I can turn it on right now. 1 second. Yes, in fact, I was able to turn it back on. It is 50 minutes into this game right now, and we are just getting his oGsTop's first orbital command for a second time. Looks like he has put his SCVs with his army. I think he wants to make sure that he wins any sort of engagement with StarTale Bomber at this point in time. We have a bunch of Marines queued up right here. I think, the supply depots must be building. Yes, indeed, they are. We have 2 supply depots on the way, and actually probably queued up too many Marines right there. He doesn't need to have 7 queued at the same time. But then again, he doesn't have that much other stuff for his resources to do at this point in time. Now, I think that when oGsTop moves to engage, he will... Oh my god, this is actually going to be extremely devastating. If he engages right here, and does he know about the space? Oh, I think he guesses it's here, though. Yes, he is going to be able to take out this orbital command. That's going to be the last mining base. Here it is. He's going to have to lift that off almost immediately. Marines are going to have to stim and focus fire it down. He's definitely going to want to do that. Looks like he's not willing to do that because he doesn't have any medevacs right now, so he really doesn't want to stim those Marines. I don't think he's going to be able to take out that orbital command. In fact, it is going to be repaired and saved as a result of that repair. The first orbital command moved to a base with more minerals. That orbital command, he did take out all of his opponent's SCVs and the supply depots again, which is going to cut down his opponent's production right now. So we see that it is 17 Marines, 9 SCVs, and a tank to 20 Marines and 2 medevacs. Those medevacs are extremely useful in these sorts of situations, and it's unfortunate for oGsTop that he let his opponent pick them off in that engagement over on that right base right there. Woof! What a game. What a game. Alright, so more Marines are now in production. Looks like the supply depots have finished up here in this top right corner, which is an unlikely scenario to be spotted by oGsTop. Meanwhile, these Marines are going to focus fire. Well, not focus fire, I suppose, but they are going to fire at each other, and that Marine will be saved. Nice control there, actually, from oGsTop. oGsTop is going to want to try to get medevacs out at some point in time. However, of course, he has a very long way to go. He does have plenty of gas, so he doesn't actually have to worry about getting his gas production back online. This orbital command, by the way, will be spotted by the supply depots and actually probably taken out by oGsTop pretty quickly right there. That's going to be pretty unfortunate for StarTale Bomber if he doesn't notice. Yep, he does notice those buildings and moves it away almost immediately. Those Marines were moving down and then realizing that it's probably not going to be able to really do anything at this point in time. So, production. We have twice the amount of Marines being produced right now by StarTale Bomber. That's over in this corner right here by this barracks with its reactor. And, alright. And this orbital command up here is doing a good amount of resource production for StarTale Bomber right now as well. Alright, this barracks is still producing for StarTale's Bomber. No, so far, sorry, for oGsTop. Looks like that orbital command is going to be spotted almost immediately. These Marines are going to go ahead and stim forward. He's not quite as afraid to stim his Marines as oGsTop is, as he does have the medevacs to be able to heal them. Starport actually is now coming out for StarTale Bomber at this point in time. He's opted not to go for the supply depots right now. Maybe he has guessed he has supply blocked his opponent and is going for the base right here. However, that base is already well on its way out of here, as oGsTop does not believe he can defeat his opponent that way. Looks like this base is also on the move, so we have the bases changing places again. It's almost like the crazy rabbit from Alice in Wonderland, or the crazy Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland. Change places! As they keep shifting their bases around exactly where they're going, and in some cases, exactly where their opponent's bases were. Eventually, though, everything will in fact be mined out, and everything will be taken out. Alright, so we have this group of Marines which are going around and actually not able to quite take out this orbital right here. Where's that starport? Is that starport finished? Starport, I think it's finished for StarTale Bomber, wherever it is. Oh my god, where the hell is it? Alright, I'm not sure where it is. Oh, maybe it wasn't finished. Maybe it was actually taken out. There's actually no way to just check building locations, or check buildings on the production tab or the unit tab. You can see neither player is producing anything right now. It's just a bunch of buildings kind of moving around, making sure these aren't taken out. See, look at this job by StarTale Bomber, making sure he goes around and finishes off all these supply depots. It's going to be very difficult for oGsTop to be able to rebuild those supply depots again and again and again in order to be able to try to come back in this game. In fact, his bunker, or barracks rather, is queued at 5 Marines right now, which of course is a little bit too high. Meanwhile, StarTale Bomber is also just a little bit behind as well. Now, the unit count is in fact favoring StarTale Bomber by quite a bit at this point in time, especially since the fact that all of his Marines are going to be at full health right now, and there's only a single siege tank with 23 kills, which is extremely impressive. However, being ranked commander is not going to help you in that final engagement. This is not total annihilation, and your units do not get better once they've achieved veteran status. They are just the same old unit, and this is just a regular siege tank. This siege tank will in fact be flattened almost immediately by these Marines, and then the rest of the Marines should clean up the rest of oGsTop's Marines. The only thing that's going to make this close at all is the existence of all of those supply depots, and actually I'm not sure that StarTale Bomber should be running away right now, because he's actually going to lose half of his army. And I think he is aware of this army. I think he could actually win if he moved forward and engaged and focus fire the siege tank right away and then moved on to the rest of the Marines. Looks like he's opting not to do that. Ooh, final pickup is able to save the vast majority of those forces again, and able to take out that orbital command. Oh my god, a huge mistake by oGsTop right now. The orbital command is at 4, 3, 2, 1, dead health. Alright, now that the orbital command is taken out, I don't think there's basically any way oGsTop is going to be able to engage this. It's all going to come down to one last engagement he's going to try to force with StarTale Bomber right now. However, StarTale Bomber is going to be able to choose exactly where that engagement is going to be, and most likely the siege tank will not be sieged up. There are these SCVs in the area, and there is only one base left. It looks like the Marines are just going to go ahead and focus fire against each other. He is going to have to run away. Ooh, StarTale Bomber is going to pick up, and he's going to want to move that orbital command as well. That orbital command is going to have to focus fire. Is going to be taken out right now, and this other orbital command is, however, still mining up at the top corner, so that orbital command is down, so we're down to 1 to 0 orbital commands. However, these are the last 2 buildings right now for oGsTop. He does have SCVs still alive, and he does have enough to build a barracks, or, well, I guess it'd have to be either a barracks or a supply depot. He's going to do it pretty quickly, actually. Is he going to build it? I don't know if he notices this is the last building. Okay, he's already started. Okay. He's already started the barracks. So this is his last building right now. This is revealed, so oGsTop knows exactly where that building is. He has discovered the existence of the last orbital right now. But, alright, so he's probably going to want to build... he can't cancel that. Remember, he cannot cancel this. And it looks like actually... Okay. So we have the orbital moving up here. Oh, the orbital's on fire! Oh, wow, that's a huge problem right now for StarTale Bomber, because it looks like his orbital is actually going to be taken out as well, and unless he can drop a mule and repair it in time, I think he will. Oh, he's dropping 4 mules to repair it. Very smart job. Oh, get there. Oh, just barely able to save it. But, alright, these forces are moving in, but they're going to be flanked, and actually these forces are going to be taken out. That siege tank is going to siege up, and it's going to be focus fire down, and the last of oGsTop's forces are going to be taken out. Oh my god, what an interesting game. I cannot believe that StarTale Bomber was able to come back. oGsTop was in such a lead for the vast majority of that game, but StarTale Bomber was just much better at handling that base trade scenario, and those Banshees that got in and killed 5 siege tanks were just incredibly useful in evening up the army count. And then, you know, he's just had much better control, able to fire the siege tanks back and forth, and Wow, I mean, I can see why this game is was posted on online, and why these players, I guess, like, what an incredibly interesting game. I can't believe how many there were 2 base trade scenarios, and as well as, like, so many movements of orbitals, shifting of SCVs, killing of workers, rebuilding of supply depots. There must have been like 100 supply depots built in that entire game. And what a game for my first game back. I actually wasn't expecting it to be this good. I just wanted to find a one-off game so I could, you know, cast the game, get it online to show everyone that I was able to cast these games again. It's been like, I think, 2 months or something like that. But wow, what a game to come back to. That's really exciting, really. And wow, you can see why these players are just so incredibly good. Like, there were so many, like, throughout the game, there were so many buildings that had to be moving around, so many moving pieces, right? Like, you had to control, like, 2 groups of armies, you had to control your workers, you had to control multiple orbital commands in different locations, as well as tons of floating buildings while sending workers and marines around to check where your opponent's bases are. Like, that's just an absurd amount of multitasking. And actually, let's check the APM tab. Oop. APM is, oh, it's M. I always forget. APM tab, so average of about 119 actions per minute. I think that's pretty high, actually, considering that they made changes so that selecting units actually doesn't count as APM. It's just when you tell units to do things is what counts towards APM. But in the end, StarTale Bomber was able to come back there, and he just refused to die, just absolutely refused to die in every single situation. I thought oGsTop was going to be able to force engagement and just kind of end the game, but it looks like he just wasn't able to do that, and StarTale Bomber was able to pull ahead at the end, get his opponent's army exactly where he wanted to, engage it in the exact right place, and just take him out. So it goes to show you persistence even in the face of defeat. Barely able to save that orbital command right there. It was at 17 health, I think, when he started repairing it with these mules. And wow, so exciting. Alright, well, hope you enjoyed this incredibly long game. PGL Milncraft signing out. Glad to be back, guys.